我讲空，大家好，我哋系 Enhypen。
What if the real reason behind Enhypen's explosive rise isn't just the music? What if the biggest force behind their success is actually something much deeper? Because right now, more and more people are starting to notice something unusual. There's something truly different about Enhypen's fanbase, and it might be changing everything. Let's talk about it. When people think about K-pop success, they usually focus on the obvious things. The music, the visuals, the choreography, the concepts, and yes, all of that absolutely matters. But with Enhypen, there's another major reason their momentum keeps growing. Their fandom, ENGENE. And what makes this fandom stand out isn't just size. It's the way they move, the way they stay connected, and the way they turn support into real-world impact. Over the past year, Enhypen's global fan support has helped push the group to major award wins, strong chart placements, and consistent growth going into 2026. Their recent major fan-voted awards especially proved how active and organized ENGENEs are worldwide. But here's what feels different. A lot of fandoms get loud during comeback season. Then things slow down. With ENGENE, the support often feels constant. Streaming, voting, sharing edits, pushing clips viral, selling out tour dates, keeping conversations alive, even between eras. That kind of consistency is rare. And honestly, it's one of the biggest reasons Enhypen keeps growing while many other groups hit a plateau. Another thing that makes this fandom feel unique is how global it really is. Their support doesn't just come from one market. It comes from everywhere. The United States, Europe, Japan, Southeast Asia, Latin America. And because the fan base is so internationally connected online, every comeback instantly becomes a worldwide event. That global structure gives Enhypen a huge advantage. A single teaser can trend across multiple regions within minutes. A performance clip can blow up overnight. A concert announcement can spread like wildfire before casual listeners even hear about it. And in today's entertainment world, speed changes everything. But maybe the most unique thing about ENGENE is emotional loyalty. This isn't just passive listening. Fans genuinely feel part of Enhypen's journey. From survival show beginnings to world tours, fans have watched every step of the group's evolution. That shared history creates something powerful, a sense of ownership, a sense of identity, and that's exactly what modern super fandom is built on. Belonging, participation, and emotional connection, not just content consumption. That's why this fandom feels different from many others. They don't just react, they actively shape momentum. In many ways, they help build the narrative around every Enhypen era. And when a fandom can influence momentum that strongly, it changes how the industry responds. More media attention, more global brand interest, more tour expansion, more chart visibility, more crossover opportunities. Suddenly, the fandom itself becomes part of the growth engine. That's powerful, and it may explain why Enhypen's rise still feels like it's accelerating instead of slowing down. So the real question is ENGENE becoming one of the most influential fandoms of this generation? And how much bigger can Enhypen become if this level of support continues? We want to hear from you. What do you think makes Enhypen's fandom feel so different? But here's where things get even more interesting. What makes Enhypen's fanbase truly different may not just be their numbers. It's their behavior during the quiet moments. Because anyone can be loud during a comeback. Anyone can trend hashtags when a teaser drops. But the real strength of a fandom shows up in the silence between eras. And this is exactly where ENGENE stands out. Even when Enhypen isn't actively promoting, the fandom keeps the group visible. Old performances continue to circulate. Fan-made edits keep going viral. Clips from concerts, funny moments, behind-the-scenes content, and even older interviews keep finding new audiences. That means Enhypen's visibility doesn't disappear between releases. It stays alive. And in today's algorithm-driven platforms, staying visible between eras can be just as important as the comeback itself. This creates something incredibly powerful: continuous discovery. New fans don't always join during comeback. Sometimes they join because a random concert clip shows up on their feed. Sometimes it's a funny edit. Sometimes it's a live vocal moment. Sometimes it's a member's personality going viral. And ENGENE seems especially good at keeping those moments in circulation. That creates a constant pipeline of new fans. Not just hype, growth, real long-term growth. Another reason this fandom feels different is the balance between emotional loyalty and strategic support. A lot of fandoms have passion, but ENGENE often combines passion with coordination. Streaming goals, voting schedules, concert support projects, birthday events, global fan bases working across time zones. All of this turns excitement into momentum, and momentum into measurable results. That's how a fandom stops being just a community and starts becoming an ecosystem, a system that keeps feeding attention, relevance, and growth back into the group. And honestly, that's rare. It's one thing to support a group. It's another thing to actively help shape their market position. This is why brands, award shows, and media outlets are paying closer attention. Because fandom power today doesn't just create noise. It creates economic value, sold-out venues, higher merchandise demand, brand partnerships, faster social media growth, better chart longevity. And when a fandom can repeatedly deliver those outcomes, the industry notices. That's when opportunities multiply. But here's the deeper side of this story. What really makes Enhypen's fanbase special might be trust. Fans trust the group's growth. They trust the storytelling. They trust that every era means something bigger. That trust makes patience easier, even during slower periods, even during experimental concepts, even during moments when casual listeners may not immediately understand the direction. Because loyal fans are no longer just following songs. They're following evolution. And that may be the biggest reason this fandom keeps getting stronger. They aren't just supporting success. They're investing emotionally in the future. That kind of relationship changes everything. Because once a fandom starts thinking long-term, the group ceiling becomes much higher. So maybe the real difference isn't just that Enhypen has a strong fandom. Maybe it's that ENGENE understands how to turn support into momentum and momentum into legacy. And if that continues, 2026 could become even bigger than anyone expects. So let's ask you this. Do you think ENGENE is becoming one of the smartest and most powerful fandoms in K-pop right now? And what role do you think fans will play in Enhypen's next big era? Tell us in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this deeper dive into fandom culture and K-pop growth stories, make sure to subscribe to Asian Star Stories. Like this video, share it with your fellow ENGENEs, and stay tuned for more global K-pop analysis.